Bienvenidos! Today we're going to talk about the preterite tense of stem-changing verbs in Spanish. In Spanish, in the preterite tense, only IR present tense stem-changing verbs experience a stem change. So we're going to look at three conditions here for stem-changing verbs in the preterite tense. Has to be an IR verb. Only IR verbs in the preterite experience a stem change. And these IR verbs only stem change in the third person forms. So first person and second person forms do not stem change. Of these present tense stem changing IR verbs, in the preterite tense, verbs that are O to UE stem changers, the O changes to a U in the third person form. Verbs that are E to IE or E to I stem changers, the E changes to an I. Now I know this sounds kind of complicated, but it's really not that complicated. All you have to do is think about if this is an IR verb or not. If it's an IR verb, you're conjugating in the preterite tense. Then if it's a stem changer in the present tense, it's going to have a stem change in the preterite third person forms only. And these are the two stem changes that it could be. It's either going to change O to U or E to I. So let's look at some examples, and I think this is going to make a lot more sense. Morir. In the present tense, it's an O to UE stem changer. So in the preterite tense, in the third person forms, it's going to change O to U. Remember, it's an IR verb, it's a stem changer in the present, so it's going to have this stem change in the preterite tense. Let's look at an example. Tú casi moriste de frío. You almost died from cold. Now in this example, this morir form does not stem change because this is the tú form, it's second person, it doesn't have a stem change, the O stays O. Okay, see the O? Now in the third person form, it's going to have a stem change in the preterite. Los niños casi murieron de hambre. The children almost died from hunger. Murieron, the U changes to, or the O changes to U. The U is the stem change. Because this is third person plural. Let's look at dormir. Dormir is an IR verb. In the present tense, it's an O to UE stem changer. So in the preterite tense, the third person forms, the O is going to change to U. Mi abuelo se durmió en el sofá. My grandfather fell asleep on the couch. Now this is third person because the subject mi abuelo is third person. The O changed to U, durmió. Now in the yo form, which is first person, we're not going to see a stem change. Yo me dormí en el sofá también. I also fell asleep on the couch. So the O does not change here because it's first person. Divertirse is an E to IE stem changer in the present tense. It's an IR verb, present tense stem changer. So in the preterite third person forms, the E is going to change to an I. Me divertí muchísimo. I had a good time, a really good time. So this is going to be the yo form, and the E does not change because it's first person, not third person. But in this example, third person, we're going to have a stem change. ¿Se divirtieron ustedes? There you go. It's kind of hard to hear because this verb has another I in it, but the E changes to I because divirtieron is the third person plural form in the preterite tense. These verbs, pedir, servir, seguir, and conseguir, these are all IR verbs, and they have an E to I stem change in the present tense. So in the preterite tense, because they're IR stem changing verbs in the present, in the preterite, they're also going to stem change in the third person forms. Because they're E to I stem changers in the present tense, they're going to be E to I in the third person forms only in the preterite tense. ¿Pidieron ustedes postre? Now see how impedir, did you all order dessert? Impedir, the E changes to I in the third person. Sí, pedimos postre. Now this is the, yes, we asked for dessert, we, the first person plural form, so this does not have a stem change. The E does not change to I in the first person plural. For servir, this E is going to stem change in the third person forms. Nos sirvió el camarero. Did the waiter serve us? And here's the E changed to an I, because this is the third person singular form. No, yo les serví a ustedes. No, I served you all. This is the yo form, and the E does not change, it stays E, because it's the first person form. For conseguir, ¿me seguiste? Did you follow me? In this example, this is the tu form, it's second person, so the E does not stem change. Stays E in the second person. But in the third person, we're going to see a stem change. No, tu amiga te siguió. No, your friend followed you. Did you follow me? No, your friend followed me. And here's your stem change. The I changed from an E to an I in the third person form. For conseguir, we're going to look for this E to change to an I in the third person forms. Consiguieron la cuenta. Did they get the bill, or did you all get the bill? And right there, there's the E that changed to an I. Sí, la conseguimos. Yes, we got it. Now this is the plural version of the first person, so it's not third person, so the E is going to stay in E. It's not going to stem change. Conseguimos.